Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about the new moon. It's on May 26th, it's at 6 degrees of Gemini, and this is more than just an ordinary new moon because we have Mercury along with Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto all in the mix, and this is causing this ongoing cosmic shakeup that you've been feeling. In this video, we're going to be diving into this new moon chart to see how it's going to affect you and what new doors of opportunity it could be opening for you. And then at the end of this video, there's going to be a segment continuing our series about activating your part of fortune. So you want to stay tuned all the way to the end. So before we talk about the new moon chart itself, let's talk about the long-term horizon. And let's start with Uranus, which is at late degrees of Taurus. And this is not a great place for Uranus to be. This started in June 2024, and because I think we're even going to feel it in the early degrees of Gemini, we are looking at this energy until at least mid-2026. Now, the reason I say this is not a great place for Uranus is because Uranus is about disruption and sudden unexpected change, which can be the pleasant surprises that we all want and look for occasionally from the universe. But Taurus is about stability and security. And so when we put these two together, we get this energy of feeling like there's no stability and no security at all. And of course, this gets more difficult if we're searching for security and stability. It's like if we're on a roller coaster, we're not expecting anything but the ups and downs and, the startling changes that a roller coaster brings. And personally, I don't like roller coasters. You might not either, but that's kind of what we're on right now. And if we have the mindset that we're on a roller coaster, so there is a lot of changes going on, and we're not necessarily going to have that quiet stability for a while. If we can get into that mindset of we're expecting the unexpected changes, then things can be a little bit more comfortable, but more importantly, we can prepare ourselves to meet and greet the opportunities that are coming. Now, at the same time, Neptune is in Aries and Saturn joins Neptune in Aries on May 24th. And so if you think of Neptune as a vision of what you want, the picture in your mind, the beautiful utopian ideas that you have, Saturn is the planet of practicality, of the work that it takes to build that vision. And so it's kind of like the architect drawing the blueprints from what you are saying your vision is. And so putting these two together, we get the picture of what you want and the plans to get there. So technically that's a great combination. So then if we look at Uranus as dislodging us or getting us unstuck from a place where maybe we're in a rut or maybe we're not seeing the opportunities around us, then it makes sense that we have all of this energy together to help loosen us to a point where we can see the opportunities and then go through the open door. And then Pluto's role in all of this, as it's going to be traveling through Aquarius, is very much about this transformation of who we are as individuals as well as who we are as a society. And so this allows you, now that you've been dislodged and you have a new vision, to go find your group, your tribe, your audience. So it is quite possible that around the time of this new moon, you're going to receive some sort of message. And that message could come from someone you know, or something you've watched, or a message from the universe. Now, I know that sounds like a lot for one little new moon, but this new moon is making the trine to Pluto as well as the sextile to Neptune and Saturn. And so if we thought about a picture of this, to me it feels like the Three of Pentacles. Now, in the Three of Pentacles, we have the person with the resources, that would be Pluto. That person gets together with the person with the vision, that's Neptune, and the carpenter who has the skills, that's Saturn. And so that might those three roles might all be you, or you are pulling in that information from other sources, and together you're building your monument. And this is Gemini new moon. So a Gemini new moon is the spark of the idea. This doesn't mean that everything has to be built and completed in 2 weeks. It can't be. This is just the beginnings of the plans. And from there, then you have a direction, and then it's one foot in front of the other to get to your destination. And if you want to know what's ahead for you in 2025 and 2026, I do readings. These readings are live readings with me via Zoom, and we cover your questions, and so there's a link in the description. Okay, Pisces, this new moon right at the base of your chart is illuminating home, family, real estate, and things regarding your foundation. So first of all, of course, if you work in real estate or construction or anything where there's some connection to helping people in their homes, and that can be interior design or home health care, etc. This is a very positive time for you where you could get a new job, you could expand your current business, where you could find new opportunities and new customers. This is also really good for enhanced communication with family members. So that means bringing people together and having open discussions where you can solve problems or come together to help other family members. You might even come together to start a family business or to pool money for real estate. And then there is some energy around your home. Now, a new moon would indicate some new energy. And when we are thinking about your home, for some that could mean moving, but most of the time this is going to be some sort of new energy, like you're getting a new piece of furniture, or you're doing some renovations, or you're shifting things around to change the feng shui flow, or things like that. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love or special close friendships, moon is making a sextile to Neptune, so you have a good aspect for meeting new people. The challenge for you is the majority of planets are below the horizon, which means that you're not getting out that much. So it's necessary to kind of push yourself out the door for social occasions, for maybe going to some event where you can meet people, going to a meetup group. All of these things seem to be something where you might be hesitating, but if you take the action and go into these situations, you could meet someone. And when it comes to existing love relationships, Mercury's making a very nice sextile to Neptune. So that is, there's more harmony between the two of you, that you're getting along better, that understanding can mean that you can solve external problems as well as problems within the relationship. It is a sextile, and that means that you have to take some sort of initiating action, maybe to sit down with your partner and say, let's work out a budget, or let's talk about how we're dealing with the kids, or what we want to do with this house, or something like that. You initiate, but you can find a lot of harmony and common ground between the two of you at this time. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Mars, which is sitting in your area of routines and systems. And this is where you set up systems so that you don't need to feel motivated, so that you don't have to say, I have to motivate myself to look at my investments, or, to get the website done, or things like that. That you set up a system, you set up a routine that makes it just happen. And that is generally, there's tons of books on this, like Atomic Habits and Mini Habits and those sort of things. But generally, when you set yourself to do something along with something, or before you do something you really want to do, that's where you can find that it becomes a habit and you don't have to dig for that motivation. And so that would be like saying you're going to spend 10 minutes looking at your investments before you sit down to dinner, or that you are going to make a couple of sales calls before you go off to work, or things like that, or you do it along with something where you are doing some enjoyable thing like going on a walk, but this time you're going to listen to maybe a book on finance. So that sort of thing is how you couple together the habits, and then you don't need the motivation, And that's the energy that you're doing now, that could be really beneficial for your money. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, Venus is making a trine tomorrow, so you have excellent energy for making more money over this next couple of weeks. So this is something where you don't actually have to do anything, more money can flow in, but if you do something, the floodgates could open. So this is a time where you could gain money from an additional source of revenue, or something that was a trickle could now be an actual flow. So, and because we have so many changes going on with these slower moving planets changing signs, it's really good to look at all the new ways of making money, because you could be inspired and find a new source. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, Mars is not making an aspect with Saturn. Now, this energy is going to line up in the future, but not during this 2-week period. So right now, it's a little bit more difficult for you to get a raise without getting a whole bunch of extra responsibilities or a lot of strings attached. Now, if you are looking for a new job, because you have some good energy around getting money in general, it is more likely you would get a raise by changing jobs, or at least changing positions within your company. So that's where to focus on if you're focusing on this in the next 2 weeks. But this energy will line up in a positive way in the future if you want to stay in your current position and ask for a raise. In this third section of the video, I have a couple of announcements, and then we're going to talk about activating your part of fortune. Every month I offer a free class. It's called New Month Wishes, and it falls on the first day of the month at 12 p.m. Pacific time. There is now a much easier way to register for this class. Just click on the link in the description and you put in your name and email, and you will get the Zoom link, and you will get some information about this class. And so what we do in this class is we talk about the astrological energies for the month, and then we together write our wishes for the month, and we activate them together with a short meditation. The class is really fun, and I hope you join us. I'm also teaching a class on finding the best day to do anything, and this is based in Chinese astrology on the 5 elements. It's a really simple method of determining the energy that you have and the energy of the day, and seeing how you can utilize the energy of the day to get the things done you want to get done. This class is part of a summit where I'm speaking with a bunch of people who are talking about very interesting topics like spirit guides and altars and all kinds of things. And so there's a link to this summit in the description. And if you like videos like this and you would like to support me and astrology in general, there is a join button next to the subscribe button, and I appreciate your support. So the part of fortune in your chart, as we've talked before, is not a planet. It is just a point, and it is derived from your sun, moon, and ascendant. It is a place where you feel that you can gain and where you feel fortunate. Today we're going to be talking about the part of fortune going through the houses. If you don't know where your part of fortune is, I can send you a PDF of your chart. There's a link in the description, and then just put in the subject line that you want to know where your part of fortune is. If you have part of fortune in the first house, you have the ability to feel what is wanted and needed by others, and this can make you very popular. So with this placement, you make most of your headway through your own efforts. If you have part of fortune in the second house, you have gains through things that you could own, or tangible things, so things like collectibles, antiques, land, other physical items. You also can get a lot of help from business people, and there are opportunities for you to gain if you deal with people in finance. If you have part of fortune in the third house, gains come to you through your knowledge, and that is as you collect information, you find opportunities. You also gain a lot through travel and meeting people, especially in foreign lands. And then you can also do gains getting help from siblings or neighbors. So, and by neighbors, I mean people in your local community. If you have part of fortune in the fourth house, your luck is around real estate. And so that is about selling real estate, or owning real estate, or doing anything that helps people connect with home. You can also get support from family members, and if you build yourself a strong foundation, and that would be like having an emergency fund and having some basic skills, you can really build towards material success. If you have part of fortune in the 5th house, you have good abilities when it comes to creative things, and this could include art or music, design, acting. You also may have special connections with children, as well as you get extra luck when it comes to speculation. If you have part of fortune in the 6th house, it's going to sound a little counterintuitive, but you actually have an easier time finding a job, and you might find a very good paying job. Additionally, you find things that benefit your health, which is one of the greatest wealth things out there, because when you feel good, then you can do many things. So your luck and your opportunities for gain are often around health-related things. If you have part of fortune in the 7th house, you have a gift of dealing with other people. So that would be negotiations or doing contracts. You also can gain through marriage, and you can gain through finding the right business partners or doing the right collaborations. Now, if you have part of fortune in the 8th house, then luck settles into the areas of business income, passive income, as well as things like inheritance. This can also mean wins, and so from wins, like unexpected money coming in, this would be kind of predicated on some of the other aspects that are happening that are attached to your 8th house or in the 8th house. But that part of fortune there does give you some opportunities, even for lottery. If you have part of fortune in the 9th house, you get more luck in general, which is very nice. You can also have good encounters and benefits from in-laws. You can find that travel brings you a lot of luck and benefits and material gain. And you can also get material gain through education, or that you can find things like financial aid more easily. If you have part of fortune in the 10th house, then luck and gains and opportunities do come through business or your career. It also helps give you a good reputation and social standing. It helps attract people to you so you can gain a following, and it helps you move up in your career within a company or to expand your business. If you have part of fortune in the 11th house, then friends bring you luck and gain. So as you widen your circle of friends, you have more opportunities for that. You also can, since you're quite inventive, you could invent something that brings you financial benefits. You could also receive a good, strong salary with part of fortune in the 11th house. If you have part of fortune in the 12th house, there is more general luck and protection in your life. There's more of an active guardian angel. You also have good abilities when it comes to art and music and design. You can do well working for a large company. You can also trust your gut a little bit more, because you have enhanced psychic gifts. So next month, I think we're going to continue this theme of prosperity. And so we're going to be talking about some of your different money houses that you have in your chart. You have more than one, and where they are pulling money from. So we're going to start to unravel that little puzzle so that you can find where the money is in your life. And by the way, if you have not subscribed to the newsletter, consider doing so. It's an illustrated weekly newsletter, and it talks about the energies for the week, and you can sign up. There's a link in the description, and I will see you in the next video.